Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another reading, Scorpio. So, this is going to be your reading for May 2021. It is so great to see you guys again. Let's see what's going on this month. Overall energy for May for you, we have the Hangman. So, you are having to wait on something. Perhaps beginning to wonder if it's ever going to come in, but I think that whenever those feelings arise, those feelings of doubt, they very quickly subside because of the control that you have over what your mind does and because of the amount of faith that you have in the outcome that you desire. So it's not so much an energy of if, it's more so a question of when. There's something that is certain, and it's like all you have to do is be patient. And I sigh because it's just, what do you do with yourself? What do you do with the time that you have, this extra time that you have when you're waiting to get wherever, when you're waiting for whatever it is to come in? What do you do with that time? What do you do with yourself? Well, I recommend that you continue to hold the vibration and keep the faith, the same amount of faith, no more, no less than you have been exhibiting, because I think that you have been seeing there's a lot that you could be doing to keep you busy. And I think that you have been making good use of your time. This isn't reading to me as someone who, is not, as someone who is just wasting their time. I think that you have been productive. Anything that requires your attention, requires your focus. I see you in May. You've been holding it down. So keep doing that. It will lead to your success. Just stay in this lane that you're in right now and keep rocking with that energy. And think only of the outcome that you want to see. Think only of the end game. That's the space. That's the vibrational space that attracts. If you guys can stay in that energetic space and just keep doing what you're doing, you'll find that you'll have more money than you know what to do with pretty soon. Don't get carried away in that energy and, just spend on shit that you don't need when there's other things that you could be using that money for. That's the warning here. But you're quite pleased with yourself. It's almost like you will want that money for something pretty important to you in the near future. So it would benefit you to not allow yourself to get confused by how much of it there is, not let the abundance not let it inflate your ego. Yeah. That's what that looks like to me. And this is why we're talking about it right now. So be careful. Stillness is the move. Careful planning for the future is the move. You will thank yourself. You will be glad that you did. If any of you have any Taurus placements, I would say a Taurus South Node or North Node, or more so Taurus South Node, or a Taurus Rising or a Taurus Moon. Check out the Taurus reading. The energy is very similar. But we're going to talk about these one more time. Just a moment. Hey guys, welcome back. Here are your cards for May. Let's go ahead and talk about these one more time. So there's something that is getting under your skin. Well, I'm not going to say is getting under your skin. I think it's pretty fair to say that you've reached the end of your rope. And it's at the point now where you want to do something about it. And you're right. You're right to be upset. You're right to be annoyed. I think that you are finally beginning to comprehend just how much you have been doing for someone or for a group of people in your life. And the unfortunate part is that it's not like this is a stranger or that these are strangers. It's like these are favors, is what we'll call them, that you're doing out of the goodness of your heart because of the kind and caring person that you are. But it's gotten to the point where you are being taken advantage of, and what do you have to show for it is the question that I would pose. We were talking about ego in the first part of the video, and I just want to expand on that a little bit for those who maybe didn't understand why I said that. When you help someone by just doing for them, you rob that person of the opportunity, of the chance to do for themselves and learn how to do and to provide for themselves. And it creates this very unhealthy dynamic where you are constantly sacrificing your energy, your time, your resources. And that person will continue to take from you because they know, well, as far as they're concerned, you want to give. So when you give so willingly, what incentive do they have to work for anything? What incentive do they have to take some of that weight off of you and abuse you less? Especially if you are dealing with a Libra or an Aquarius. But the air signs are just, they're doing you kind of dirty. Could be a Gemini as well. So there's a question here of fairness, and there's a question of just how much is enough, because I think that your mind is made up. It may seem from the outside looking in that you don't know what's going on because you have been keeping a cycle going. So to anyone on the outside looking in, it looks like things are okay. It looks like you're fine with the way that things are because you are delivering. You're making good on the commitments that you have to this person or to this group of people. But in bending over backwards for him or her or them, you're running yourself ragged in the process. Liberation and peace and rest will only come in once you free yourself of the mental shackles of your own creation. When you take these blindfolds off, look at this. Very rarely do both of these figures come up right after the other. So I think that this is something that has been going unnoticed for some time, or at least it's been ignorance is bliss. But in your case, it's like it hasn't really been bliss because like you are visibly upset by the dynamic, and you know that there is something, you know that it's not working out. You know. Now, is there any malicious intent coming from this person or from this group of people that you're dealing with? I don't think so. Because people can only take from you what you give them. So I don't think that you, Scorpio, are specifically being targeted. And chosen as, it's not like you're being picked out of a crowd and they're saying, you know, okay, I'm going to take everything that I can get from you and then I'm going to throw you away when I'm done with it. No, I don't think that that's what's happening. I think that this is a person, like I said, that you care about, and as hard as it may be for you to believe or see at times, they care about you too. But it's like this person is misguided, or these people are. So in May, there are questions that you need to, there are questions about codependency. And the most challenging thing about that, especially for the people that find themselves in codependent relationships, is if you don't know what that means or if you don't know what it is, it then becomes very hard for you to overcome it, because how can you tame it if you can't name it? And if that person doesn't know that that's what they are, if that person doesn't know that that's the type of dynamic that you're in, then it will perpetuate itself. It's like this self-feeding beast that just rages out of control because no one is strong enough or brave enough to call it what it is. From personal experience, I can tell you that the only way that you are going to overcome this, the only way that you're going to get out of this, is by allowing this person or these people to do for themselves. And it's on focusing your energy on cultivating strong boundaries, knowing what that cutoff point is, and knowing that in saying no to someone, it's not because it doesn't mean that you don't care about them, and it doesn't mean that you don't want to see them succeed. It's just in acknowledging that there's more than one way to learn. And when you begin to do this type of boundaries work, you know, start small. You know, it's not gonna just happen overnight. It takes seeing it first, and I think that you're seeing it. So there's a positive momentum here, and it's encouraging to see, because, like I said, I think that this has been going on for some time. But it's like you have to wean these energy vampires off of you And you have to start working on building those boundaries. It's about self-preservation. It's about protecting your energy. It's about helping that person help themselves. One thing that I want you guys to work on this month is saying no. Each time that you say no, you say yes to yourself. And someone who's used to always hearing yes from you, just full disclosure, it may not go over well with them at first. But the more you do it, the more they will become aware of the simple fact that you're not always going to be there, you're not always going to be available, and that you have needs too, that your needs matter. And the instant gratification that they're seeking will not always be a certainty. But this month, Scorpio, well, I think this is work that you'll be doing for, it's going to take more than just this month, but it's work that is worth doing. And it starts with you using what you've seen, using this truth that you have. The Hermit card was at the bottom of the deck, yeah. Using this truth that you are now aware of, that you're now comfortable with, to make a decision this month about what you're willing to sacrifice. Because something has to go. You can't keep saying yes to everything. It's not sustainable. It's not good for anyone that's involved, and I think that you don't feel good right now. So it can be a time of empowerment for you this month. But you have to willingly make that choice and be brave and speak up to this person, because they're going to continue to take from you unless you stand in your power and do something about it. We spoke in the first part as well about money quite a bit, and I think that it's all kind of tied in together, right? This may be a relationship or a dynamic that you have spent a lot on. This could be an investment, a job, that requires a lot of your time and energy. And you want to, piece by piece, get some of that back. No longer be the yes man or yes woman. Boundaries in the workplace are just as, or at school, are just as important as boundaries anywhere. And just because someone is paying you doesn't mean that they own you. Damn. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Just because they are paying you doesn't mean that they own your soul. Just because you are the primary means of support for someone doesn't mean that you should be, especially if that person is capable of standing on their own 2 feet. But they're just actively choosing not to because they know that you'll be there. Ultimately, I like that this is ending in the Justice card, because this is telling me that the truth will out. There is a resolution here that will be reached sooner or later, because like I said, I think that you're getting pretty tired. 7-Eleven might be important to you, those numbers. We are going to talk about these cards a bit more in the extended reading. If you'd like to see that, the link will be in the description box below. If you'd like a personal reading, information for that will be there as well. Thanks for your patience and for being here again. Good luck with this energy. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.